Hey, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to Sakura Space, and it seems like for the first time in this game, we are out of the ship. I think. Unless there is some kind of... you know... city hall. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. But whatever, there is a nice area with stores, and it has 2 floors. Or even more, who knows. Anyway, the ship we live on is quite a sizable one. Since the operations of this mercenary company span across many parts of the galaxy, there are many different teams who live on board. Huh? Every team has their own living quarters, and there are even onboard shops. So I was correct in the end, we are still on the ship. God damn it! I can't believe they have shops? They can even have AIs which act as administrators in their quarters if they so wish. Our AI signals us as we step out. Keep in mind that you currently do not have an income. This job you have picked is not going to pay for some time, so be careful with your budget. Thank you again. Come on everyone. Nami stands there awkwardly in her suit. Do we have to? Well, if you do not want to go, then you can just stay in our quarters. No. I want to go. When she isn't training on a mission, Nami is very awkward around other people. She's trying to get better at it, however. Kotri, on the other hand, has to be restrained when she's around other people. She acts too much like an overly friendly Labrador when she's in public. I wonder how everyone is doing today. Remember, you are representing the pride of our company. When you're out in public, Kotri, you must act in a dignified, professional manner. She's not listening, however. Come on, let's see what new gadgets they have here. She's practically pulling me by my arm, with Nami trailing close behind. Perhaps it would have been a better idea to stay in our quarters after all. Then again, most of the company are familiar with their shenanigans, so perhaps this won't be too much of a problem. These two cause such a scene between the both of them. I'll just have to roll with the punches this time. As we pass by a cafe, I can hear the mercenaries chatting amongst themselves. So, have you heard about that $1 billion bounty? Who hasn't heard about it? Everyone here wants to have a crack at it, you know? Well, it looks like the bounty has not gone unnoticed. This means we'll have to be careful too. Sounds like all the talk about nothing to eat. What? 1 billion Imperial dollars? Nothing? The mercenary snorts. Huh. Sorry, but we aren't all driving diamond-encrusted ships like you are. You know that diamonds are worthless in this galaxy. They've been mining a damn planet made of this stuff for years. You know what I mean. The point is that even if it turns out to be a hoax, it's worth having a look. That would just be a waste of everyone's time. There's no way of knowing if the bounty is legit or not. They probably wouldn't pay up at the end of it either. If someone has the kind of love just lying around, then they probably have the kind of hard muscle to ensure that the merc who claims the bounty mysteriously disappears. Well, when you put it like that, maybe it would better stick for a safer job. There is no replacement this word for hard work, sadly. Looks like everyone is excited about this bounty. It would seem that way. Hey, you lot, do you mind? We're trying to have a conversation here. My apologies, gentlemen. No point in starting a fight. Passing by the electronic shops, Kotori's eyes glimmer with excitement. Remember that we have to be careful with our budget for the time being. Only buy things which are essential. All of this looks fairly essential to me. I just shake my head. Nami, however, does not appear to be interested in any of it. Is there something you wanted to see while we're here, Nami? There are a number of different things you can buy here. I want food. We have not restocked in ages. She makes fair point. Alright. That is an excellent idea. You have to restock on bacon, first and foremost. You should really cut back on the bacon. Not you too. If you plan to have so much bacon, you should really do swimming with me. It will be a great way to burn off all of that fat. It isn't that bad. Yeah, I agree, I mean, she looks pretty good to me. And it seems like all that fat is landing in correct areas. Anyway, and I do plenty of work. Everyone in my crew is so carefree. I sometimes wonder if there is any point in me being the captain at all. What we need to do is buy an array of healthy, fresh ingredients. I know many diet plans which would be perfect for energy and combat awareness. Perhaps you would like to try it, Captain? Poor Captain. What about you, Kotori? Nope, I'm just fine as I am. But your diet is far from optimal. My stomach works are different from everyone else's. You see, it's highly important I get the right amount of sugar daily. What? How else do you think I have all of this energy? I think we should reduce her sugar. It will explain a lot, in retrospect. Anyway, that will not be necessary. Just stock up on a variety of different supplies. If you can make something healthy from our stores, then great. If not, then we'll just make do. Earth-like ingredients are few and far between on the ship. Since we pass by all sorts of different places, you can end up with some exotic ingredients. Why does it sound like you might end up with something that is not an ingredient, but like, you know, a bug? Let us hope that no one decides to pick up a piece of fruit because it looks pretty. Is something wrong, Captain? You seem troubled. I just remembered that I had something I need to do. You two go ahead without me. Are you sure it's nothing? Yeah, please, I'll be fine. The two of them seem reluctant, but they don't say anything. Okay, we'll be back before you know it. Let's go by dinner, Nami. Understood. Alright, I've been wondering this before, because she had this during that training. But she's still having it. What's that freaking ring around her leg? The bluish one. And I'm talking about Nami now. Curious. Let them disappear out of sight. Good. I go to an isolated part of the ship where I'm sure no one else is around. Alright, you can come out now. Now, what business do you have with me? It's probably just my imagination. Maybe those two mercenaries who we were listening to earlier. Around here, people tend to solve their disputes that way. Strictly non-lethal, of course. It goes against company policy to injure other employees. For a long time, there appears to be no one there. I then hear a giggle echo through the hall. I'm just curious about you! It's a woman's voice. I know better than most people that you get a lot of strange people on this ship. It's massive, and it passed by many different space stations and hubs throughout the galaxy. However, something about this woman, it makes me uneasy. If you're just curious about me, you could have simply approached me. And yet you followed me all the way here. I cannot help but doubt that you have good intentions. You possess a very analytical mind. Tell me, Captain Shika, who do you think I am? You must be a drifter of some sort. I'm not good with faces, but I'm familiar with the teams who work around here. Anyone who knows me also knows better than to try and start a fight with me. I find it hard to believe that a random drifter happens to have business with me. So just who are you meant to be? Oh, believe me, you are collected. You took up a bounty job recently, didn't you? Like everyone else here, you do odd jobs, and I'm sure that such a massive bounty would be irresistible to you. You seem to know a lot about me. That's a bit unsettling. Is it just me, or is it my, anyone else's mind cross the thought that this might be the one we are hunting? Some strange one followed me like this, and I was only able to get a vague feeling of being watched. Whoever this person is, they are excellent at concealing themselves. That is cause for concern. I can't help but let my hand rest on my pistol. You would be surprised how popular your crew is. It doesn't matter what job you do, you always do it. You have something of a cult following throughout the galaxy. What have I done, however, is that you're completely unaware of this. There are people who report sightings of your crew everywhere you go. This is the first time I've ever heard of this. Just what kind of fan base do we have then? I don't know, but I would be in that crew of those fans. I do not exactly glue myself to a digital part like Kotori does, but that's something I have to worry about later. There is also another detail. Isn't it publicly available information when the team picks up job? That's right. You have to make a declaration to the company when you take a job. Every other employee on board the ship can find out who is doing what job if they look it up. So somehow, this woman has gotten that information. And she became aware that my team has chosen this case. However, there would be hundreds of names on it by now, judging by the interest generated. So, what do you single my crew out then? What exactly makes us stand out among the hundreds who are taking up the job? But you're a very special captain. No other mercenary company on board has success rate as high as yours, do they? Hello? It's then that the woman finally steps out from the shadows. Her appearance. Wait, what's that she's holding? What's that she's holding? I mean, technically I don't see anything that she would be holding. Unless it's an invisible whip. It is. It all suddenly clips into place. So you must be a Canadian. But how did you end up here? She looks interesting to say the least. The whip that is her signature rests in one of her hands. I have no doubt that you figure out the pattern. But there was one other small detail you missed. A company ship also happened to be the plants you are talking about. It's then that it hits me. So a company police has been the one causing this mayhem. Something about it did seem familiar to me. In other words, it was you. Precisely. You're a sharp one, aren't you? That ship just so happens to be docked on this capital ship. She's just giving all of this away so easily. You wouldn't reveal this information unless you were supremely confident that you wouldn't be caught. Although I'm not certain that this woman is really who she claims to be yet. What she's doing does fit in with my previous theories about her. She leaves visible traces and clues on purpose. She must believe herself to be untouchable, even by people who are extensively trained. Now, that is a bit worrying, considering that I'm facing her by myself. Also correct, but I don't think I'll tell you I am touchable by you. You enjoy a bit of detective work, don't you, Captain? Well, my job does often require me to employ using detective skills. That's really something else that I have an idea of. You have training, I can tell by the way you move. What? What? She barely moved. Even now, she has cat-like grace. She's carefully poised, just standing in the right position. Judging by the length of her whip, I would guess she has about a 3-meter reach. And she just happens to be roughly that close to me right now. You'd be correct twice again! Before you ask me why I picked your crew, what do you think it is the answer? Cute girls. A potential threat. Perhaps selected at random. Where is the answer, cute girls? Hey! Hello, where is the answer, cute girls? Alright, it's potential threat. If I were to think about it logically, you would view us as a potential threat. You mentioned that we have the highest success rate of missions among this company's mercenaries. So if I were going to protect myself, I would eliminate my most dangerous opponent first. How far am I off the mark?
You would be right. However, that is not the only reason. Despite everything, I'm a very big fan of yours.
See, I told you it was about cool girls.
Would it be fun to get involved in one of your adventures? I thought to myself.
Did you set up this bounty deliberately just to lure me out?
Oh no, it was me. I'm just taking advantage of the situation.
Her whip begins to crack with power.
So, can the great Captain Shika and her crew capture a cannon enigma?
I can't help but let a smirk form my face. A cannon enigma. Quite a grandeur title you've given yourself.
From what I've seen, your adventures are the definition of grandeur. So who knows what to do about? I can't wait to see what sort of fun we'll have together.
She already sounds like she's sure of her victory. However, there is just one detail that you overlooked. And that will ultimately be your downfall, Agnes.
Whatever might that be, Captain?
You just saved me the trouble of finding you myself. Are you sure that you're ready to play a game of cat and mouse with my crew? Because I don't think you are. You have training experience, but you're way too early to be able to beat some of the best in the business. If you know me, then you know that you're going to be in for quite a fight. Akane just giggles.
I most certainly am ready. After all, we still have a lot of missing pieces to the puzzle. All you know at the moment is my alias. I'm just a drifter who came onto the ship recently. No one else here knows my face or my name.
She begins to slip back into the shadows.
I'll see you soon, Shika. I can't wait to see what sort of fun we'll have together.
It's then that I see many secret drones drifting in from the hallways. All of them look like newer models. Fast reflexes, better networking, more precision. Not the kind of feat you can just find lying around. You're even kind enough to leave me some target practice. I have to take a moment to analyze them before I strike. As far as I can see, they're equipped with non-lethal weapons. She said she was fun, so I'm just going to assume that she isn't out to kill us. But if I actually got killed by those drones, it would be rather humiliating. Reputation is everything in this line of work, after all. Whoa. I retreat and pull out my pistol. Alright, I like her style. A barrage of paralyzing rounds rains down from above. I dive behind cover. They are only robots, so I don't have to adjust my pistol's destructive power. Squeezing the trigger, I feel a powerful blast erupt from its barrel. An explosion takes out a portion of the drones, but more and more arrive, from seemingly out of nowhere. They're the compact model, so they shouldn't be too hard to deal with. But overwhelming numbers may be a problem. I duck from cover to cover, firing at the drones whenever I get a clear shot. I'm not taking them down, however. Pistol configuration, fully automatic. Instead of concentrating all of the energy into pistol shots, I fire a spray of deadly pellets at the enemy. Pellets. They pierce through the drones, light plating, destroying a large quantities of them every time I come back out from behind cover. It's then that the drones begin to change their tactics. They begin firing shots which have an arc, attempting to shoot me while I'm still behind cover. I'm forced to run into the open to avoid being stunned. Pistol configuration, EMP. Most drones these days are shielded from EMP type attacks. My pistol doesn't have enough punch to be able to destroy them, but this should be enough to stun them while I find a new cover. For a moment the drones scatter in the air erratically. Several of them crash into each other, causing them to fall onto the metal floor in a crumpled heap. But that still leaves a sizable number of them. Unleashing another barrage of automatic fire, it's soon down to just a few of them. The AI which runs these network drones seems to be in disarray. The drones are retreating from the hall, regrouping at the end of it. This time they approach slowly. It's a systematic approach, slowly limiting potential places where I can take cover. But it isn't going to help. Now there is only a few of them left. I do not have to worry about cover as much. As soon as I set about, all of them load their targeters onto me. Fortunately, paralyzed rounds move a bit slower than conventional bullets. I'm able to stand out in the open, dodging the projectiles with ease. I fire back, and it is over. Among the twisted metal husk of drones, I cannot help but let the grin spread on my face. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed myself like this. Not only this job going to pay really well, it's also going to be a lot of fun. But I need to think about this more carefully. If she's using non-lethal weapons, then what does that mean? She wants a hostage. She's testing me. Why would she need a hostage? She might be a fan, but she probably doesn't really know how you well, basically engage in battles, and because of that she's testing you. She's trying to get the basic idea of how you fight. Alright, she said that she wanted to have a lot of fun, or maybe that. So now she wouldn't want it to end quickly by using lethal weapons. This is some sort of elaborate game to her. That would make sense. Piecing it together, it would also explain a lot about her actions.
Captain, are you here?
Why are you crying? Where did you go? Those two must have been wondering where I went. I'm fine, don't worry about me.
What happened here?
She looks around at all of the smoldering drone scraps on the ground. I had a run-in with our target.
Our target? You mean she's here?
Let's get back to our quarters. I'll explain everything when we get back. So, here is what I have determined. Our target, she's a company employee, a mercenary just like us. And it seems that she's aware of who we are, and that we have taken up her bounty. Also, she had described herself as a fan of ours. Kotori seems to be taking it seriously for a change.
If she's on the ship, then it's going to be dangerous.
Nami nods in agreement.
We have to heighten our security measures in our quarters.
There could be traps waiting for us in here.
Those drones I saw, all of them were equipped with non-lethal weaponry. So does that mean she isn't out to kill us?
It doesn't appear that way, at least at the moment. If I were to take a guess, this is all just a big game for her. She said she was a fan of our work, and that we apparently have a cult following. If I were to take a guess at her motives, the crimes her appearing here and confidently declaring herself out in the open. It's all just a game to her.
Just a game. Now that I think about it, none of her crimes resulted in any casualties. So this is all about feeding her own ego? She thinks she's proving how talented or resourceful she is?
When Kotori starts talking seriously, she's really sharp.
Well, she's a mercenary like us, so her reputation would be everything. And what better way would she be able to prove her own caprice than by beating us, her own idols?
Exactly. She said she was fun, as I mentioned before. I guess this means this job is going to come down to a battle of wits. If we win, then she will make sure to humiliate us in front of her entire company. Our reputation would be forever tarnished. I have heard about workers in the film industry who messed up once and were never able to find a job again. Yeah, there are some cases like that, actually. Life as a mercenary is no different from that in this part of the galaxy. If you cannot get task job done, then you might as well look for a new job. Isn't this like in every company? So we understand her motives and we know that she's somewhere on this ship. But we can't simply confront her out in the open.
Right, Akane is an alias, as we determined earlier. There's no concrete evidence linking her to her crimes. So if you confronted her out in the open and beat her senseless, it would seem like we were just attacking a fellow employee for no particular reason. Which means we need evidence first.
You see, that's why in this line of work you should have some kind of voice recorder or whatever, and you would just turn it on from your pocket. Or is it just me thinking that it would work? That is precisely the problem. She said that she drifted aboard a company ship. You can find just... If we can just find out more information about her, then we can determine who she is and find a way to beat her. As it stands, she probably knows where our quarters are, so she can afford to wait and let us come to her. You said that this is about her ego, so perhaps we can bait her like that. If you got her to confess and recorded it, then you could go forward with claiming the bounty. On the other hand, if it became public knowledge that the single highest bounties in the galaxy is on the ship, it would throw everything into chaos. Every single team here would be mobilizing to take her down. And in that chaos, she would easily slip away, off to cause mayhem somewhere else. So we have to handle this with discretion, above all else. If we pull this off, then we're set for life. No one is to breathe a word of these two and no one outside of these quarters, okay? Both of them not in agreement. Good, that's an order from your captain. Kotori puts her hand on her chin.
We have to remember that she's confident enough to reveal herself to us. So she would obviously have traps in wait. It's going to be difficult to approach. It would be best to have time to think about our next move.
Exactly. For now I'm going to declare our meeting adjourned. I want everyone to be ready for battle at a moment's notice. I will be setting the security systems to red alert. If another rat finds its way into our quarters, we'll know about it.
Acknowledged. Secret level on red alert.
Good. Make sure to check your rooms before you go to bed. We don't want her to strike when we're most vulnerable. Or here is a suggestion from me. All of them in one room. All three of them. Well, we should be relatively safe in our quarters. It's better to be safe than sorry. The captain declares this meeting to be adjourned. As the two of them leave the room, the AI begins to speak.
I'll keep an eye out for any reports or unusual problems arising on board. My guess that she will not be able to remain out of trouble, or she'll be applying incredible restraint on her compulsions.
I agree. It's been rather difficult to relax since what happened. I'm here at the pool with Nami. She hasn't left my side since Akane had singled me out. For the longest time we just sit here together, not saying a single word. Whoa. Captain, you look great in that bikini.
Captain, I want to ask you a question.
Ask away.
Why is it that you choose to walk away from us when you thought you were being followed?
At the time I thought it might have just been those mercenaries from earlier. People around here do take such things personally, you know.
Even if it was just them, there's no point in needlessly risking yourself like that.
Well, if we had remained in a group, they might not have revealed themselves and simply waited for a better opportunity to strike. And also, let's not forget that Nami looks also great in that bikini of hers. So I thought the best course of action was to lure them out myself. Akane did reveal herself too.
Next time please try to let your crew know if you're planning something like that. She isn't out to kill you, but still. What if she decided to stun you, capture you? That would really put things into disarray for us.
I'm sorry, Nami. Please forgive me. But I really did feel that it was the best course of action.
Well, we have to accept the captain's orders. And you did try to protect us.
Exactly. I sit down at the water's edge, just letting the warm water soak my feet. Nami relaxes in much the same way.
Kotor did pick an excellent place to put this pool. You can get a perfect view of the cosmos from here.
Okay. The view of the cosmos is not the view I'm actually keeping my eyes on.
Why is that space is so fascinating to us? Even in the olden days, mankind looked up at the stars in wonder.
Yeah, and they tried to get the knowledge about it first, instead of freaking getting the knowledge about their own dang planet. That same look of wonder is in Nami's eyes, as the twinkling stars shine in front of us. You're still searching for it, aren't you?
Yeah, an answer.
Have you worked out the question yet?
No, I have not. Here I am, still chasing a vague feeling of longing after so many years. There's something out there among the stars that I'm looking for. I do not know what that is. There is some desire in me, something I cannot comprehend. I ask myself every day, what is that I'm chasing? What does all of this mean?
That's why you became a pilot, isn't it? You wanted to see what was out there.
Exactly.
Among the three of us, we all come from radically different walks of life. I'm also a former pilot, one of Earth's best and brightest. I come from a mundane background. No one back on Earth could have imagined that things would turn out like this for me. Okay, more details please. And for Nami either.
Although my time spent in that car was unforgettable, it did not give me the freedom that I was craving. It could only be in a few places at once. I wanted more. I wanted to spread my wings and fly across the cosmos. And know if I could find what I was looking for out here.
She lets us a small laugh.
I guess in the end what I'm chasing is some enlightenment. Do you think that there could be a profound experience out there? One which would change how you saw everything in life?
It is a wide universe, Nami. That experience is out there somewhere, I'm certain of it. But it's a little hard to look if you don't know where it is.
Perhaps you don't find it all at once. Perhaps it is something that you slowly accumulate over time. Perhaps this enlightening experience is merely the sum of everything that you have done.
Perhaps it is. Normally Nami isn't so open about her thoughts. Are you afraid, Nami?
Huh? Of what?
You are worried about me.
Well, of course I am. If something happened to our captain, I doubt this company would remain together. So it would be wise to ensure that nothing happens to you. Akane obviously does not desire to harm you in any real sense. But even so, if it had been someone who was actually out to harm you, then what would become of all of us here?
Even if I was not here, I think both of you would be fine. You're some of the finest mercenaries in the business. But I understand where you're coming from. Although she's exceptionally intelligent, Nami does need guidance from time to time. People with these eccentric personalities tend to be difficult to work with if you do not understand them. If Akane tries to strike again, I promise that I will not isolate myself on purpose. All of us need to be united if we are going to beat her, I think.
Did she actually try to fight you? Or were those drones the only weapons she used?
Just drones. But judging from the way she moved, she's definitely going to be a dangerous opponent. She slipped into the shadows as easily as a ghost might slip through the wall. Whoever she is, she knows how to use her environment fully to her advantage. Everything about her is strange, to say the least. I'd say she has the capabilities to be an assassin.
If you were going to pick one detail about our bounty which stands out above all else, what do you think it would be?
Her ego, her whip. Which stands out. Okay, I didn't even notice she had a whip. I mean, technically, yeah, her ego. I would say that her most defining trait is her ego.
What makes you say that, Captain?
Well, not only did she come all of this way just to mess with us, she was also confident enough to reveal herself to me. If she had not done that, then she would have been able to take us down at her own pace. But it's as if she's deliberately giving us the heads up. Above all else, it is her ego that defines her. She'll deliberately leave behind clues, slip up and taunt us. Because she believes in her superiority over us, even if she's supposedly our fan.
Yeah, it does make sense. Why would you bother traveling all of this way if you didn't think you could emerge the victor? In addition, she's not only challenging just you, but all three of us. Our reputations precede us wherever we go, so if she thinks she can somehow beat all of us together,
Then no matter how skilled she is, she must have an incredible ego. That is my thought exactly. With that in mind, we can discern how she may behave in the future. Good thinking, Captain. No matter what way this plays out, we have to remain careful. Even if she looks like she does not wish to hurt us, we cannot trust anything that she says. What? You are right about that. So next time something like that happens, please don't do anything reckless. I'm only your crew member, so you have the final say in what you do. But please. Nami pulls her feet out of the water and wanders up over to a nearby chair. She lays herself out, looking out of the stars. I do not know what I would do if we lost the captain. So to resolve this bounty as soon as possible. I understand how you feel, Nami. I don't think I could stand the feeling of losing either of you. We have all been together for a long time. The idea of us carrying on if one of us was missing, well, it just does not seem plausible. I get out of the water too, walking over to Nami. She suddenly seems to get really awkward. Captain! You're standing very close to me. I can't stop myself looking. Hey! Oh. Are you feeling lonely now? Yeah. She just lays there awkwardly unsure of how to express her feelings. There is no need to be shy then. I know how you feel. I know you do. Then why don't we let our passion talk? Captain! Are you? What? Is she going to? Go for it, Captain. Whoa. As I walk over, she spreads out before me. Well, yeah. I slowly sit on top of her, gazing longingly into her eyes. I can feel heat. Heather heat radiating from her body as her breathing becomes heavy. Her luxurious figs, they are, feel like the finest velvet as I sleep. God damn it, over them, sorry. Shika, what happened to professionalism? We aren't working right now, so we can worry about professionalism another time. I'm glad. Her soft lips slowly press against mine. I can feel her heart beating faster as she lies by my side. We share a long, passionate kiss. Her gentle hands move around my body slowly, her fingertips pressing to my soft skin. They slowly trail down my back. The heat, her breath, the feeling of her skin against mine. All of it sends shudders and shivers through me. Nami is a rare jewel, someone of incredible strength, beauty, and intelligence. Someone like her is 1 in a billion. I'm so lucky to have met her. Her hand slowly slides down my back until it settles on my behind. It begins to squeeze. I can tell she is relishing how it feels in between her fingers. Okay, we can actually see that. Her other glides up my back and her arms slowly wrap around my waist, pulling me closer to her. It's exhilarating to feel every bump, every caress, every wrap as we lie entangled together. Her bright eyes do not leave mine for a moment. It's as if I can see into her soul. It's bright, it's burning, it's filled with passion. Our lips separate for the smallest moment, just long enough for her to draw a long, deep breath. She gently whispers in my ear, "Please, Captain, don't ever leave me. Don't ever leave us. We need you. Don't ever forget that we need you." How could I possibly forget you, Nami? I'll be here for as long as you need me. She locks her lips with me, letting her passion say everything that needs to be said. I won't leave any of you behind. No matter what happens, I'll always be here for both of you. That is my promise to this company. No, that is my promise to you. Nami, my precious Javel. For the longest time we simply lie there together. As the stars around us continue their cosmic dance in the void. Well, Nami should be in high spirits now, so let's end the episode. Alright, that was a surprising turn of events. Anywho, well, I enjoyed that moment. Anywho, hope you enjoyed this episode, and let's continue tomorrow. So hope to see you then. Bye bye.